Hello, Career Sighted. My name is Josh Sanderson, and I'm a lobbyist. A lobbyist's job primarily is to work with decision makers, work with elected officials on all different levels, all the way from city councils, school boards at the local level, to legislatures at the state level, the governor's office, all the way up to Congress and presidential administrations. And our job is to work with them to change laws or to make laws that are favorable for the people who we represent. A lobbyist's job is to be an expert in a certain field and then go and educate elected officials on those issues so that they have input from the people that they represent on the issues that they're working on. Most of the goals that we work on are long-term. They're not something that happen overnight. If you get frustrated easily, then this is a very difficult field to work in. There is no typical day. Being a lobbyist has been described as 99% boredom punctuated by 1% sheer terror. Sitting in a committee hearing, for instance, you never know when you're going to be called up front in front of a panel of senators to testify in front of 200 people in the audience. When legislatures are meeting, when laws are being openly discussed and written, we meet with elected officials, with their staff, and meet with them personally in order to help educate them on policy issues. The most difficult thing often is to convey our ideas and change that person's mind who at the beginning did not agree with you. We can travel often. I'm based in Austin. We go to Washington, D.C. often. When you leave the office and you go home at night and turn on the news, they're often talking about things that you worked on earlier in the day. If in middle school or high school you decide that you want to work in politics, you want to work in policy and lobbying, I highly suggest polishing up and concentrating on communication skills. Pay attention to that in English, your writing. Pay attention to that in speech. Take debate. That's highly beneficial in this area. History, political science, government. Take those classes. People who become lobbyists get here in a variety of ways. The most common way is that they have political science backgrounds in college to some degree. The most important thing before you actually start lobbying is to know how the process works. The process is set up to kill laws. It's very difficult to actually get something enacted. I highly suggest working for elected officials first. Learn the process where you will be working before you start working to try to change that process. Go and start at the bottom. Get involved with the campaign. Block walk, knock on doors, make phone calls, interact with campaign staff. And from there, you build relationships. You understand the most basic components of getting elected and what elected officials are. Often that evolves into working for people who you help to get elected. Most of the people start off as interns in the House of Representatives or in the Senate, and then they work their way up. It can be very stressful and it can be very rewarding. And I'm fortunate enough to work on an issue such as public education, something I believe in. Thanks, Career Sighted.